Yeah, certainly, certainly. I think there's a multiple different layers when it comes to the international payments. Obviously, if we look at the whole food chain, right, it will be from the start of the payment initiation. For example, it could be a corporate, it could be a financial institution, a pension funds, etc., sending the money from one part of the world to the other part of the world. As you said, it becomes extremely complicated and a lengthy process if this is a cross-border and cross-currency transactions. And not only that, today a big problem that the society or the clients of ours are facing is this fire and forget situation. What do we mean by fire and forget? The moment they fire a payment, they initiate payment, that's it. They don't necessarily have the transparency, the visibility of where their money is at any point of time. They will not know that okay, is their money going to be to be stopped because account is not the right number, the KYC AML is not right, and the other side of the world is probably a bank holiday, a public holiday. So there's multiple reasons for this payment to be delayed and to be failed. So a lot of banks today, like including UBS, we monitor our STP rates, the automation rate, and none of the bank, I believe, can achieve 100%, right? So which means that, okay, for the transaction that's not 100%, for this very small percentage, which are not STP'd, what is the reason? And also for the transactions that are already STP'd, how slow they are. So when it comes to the cross-border payment, there's so many different layers of transaction bankings, right? It's not only just two transaction bankings or correspondent banking operating nostril between themselves. There's a transaction banks of transaction banks of transaction banks in between, right? So it is extremely lengthy food chain. When we speak with our clients, so I often speak with our corporate institutional clients and including the treasurer, the CFOs, etc. When you're talking with them about the distributed ledger technology, the digital payments, they are excited about that. They would like to achieve, visibility, transparency, and 24/7 visibility, etc. But we have to really translate what is this concrete benefits for them. For example, a lot of them really appreciate the fact that they will be able to trace where their money is. They will be able to track, and they will be able to pre-validate their transaction, their payment. So when they need to make the payment, they are sure that there will be no delay. It will be settled successfully on the time they want to. Not too many of them necessarily appreciate automatic settlement, because as a corporate treasurers, it will be a big problem if you always do a same day or automatic settlement, right? It means that you're not a great treasurer. You don't know when you need to pay your money, right? So I mean, automatic settlement is great, but not necessarily the golden key to open the sweet spot of the society, of the corporate world. Another thing I also like to highlight is the technology, or no matter tokenized deposits or CBDC, they are the enabler to create more benefits and public good. When you speak with our clients, a lot of them will highlight some more burning points, right? Like the harmonization of global or the geopolitics, for example. If you're talking with them about how to send money quicker, the question is, okay, calm down. How about we talk about how to move our corporate money out of China back to Switzerland, for example. And some of them might be say, okay, the KYC AML is a bigger problem. Would your digital currency also solve this problem, etc., etc. So I think to have a direct conversation with the end client to really understand their pain points really help us to shape our digital asset strategy and the product shelf. And also, we need to assess the balance of the benefit we can create and also the technology investment in it, because this is going to be a lengthy journey, expensive, etc., etc. So it's not a small thing. Last but not least, I also want to highlight something not very technical, but I think is important to bear in mind, right? When we send money within the same bank, UBS client to UBS client, no matter within the same jurisdiction or cross-border, it is not difficult. It can be very fast. the second, or we call it a semi-cross-network complexity, is when UBS clients need to send money to, let's say, Deutsche Bank clients. In this case, Deutsche Bank and UBS, we could have a traditional correspondent relationship. If that is the case, the money is still easy because Deutsche Bank de facto is a UBS client if they use us as their correspondent bank. So that is not too difficult either. The most difficult part is when UBS and the other bank have zero correspondent relationship. And this is the most tricky part. And to make this happen, if we have the mercy of digital currency, we really need a central party to play this orchestrator. So this could be the unified ledger promoted by Project Agora, or it could be a third party or private sector middleman that can guarantee the settlement, the clearing of digital currency in both worlds. But this obviously not going to be as good as a public sector created, solid, the most safe digital ledger, digital orchestrator or unified ledger. So I will probably pause here because there's a different layer of complexity, and welcome to ask questions offline, but I don't want to bore you with too many buzzwords here.
That's great. And